What is going on, COG people? Welcome to the first semi-final game of the COG experiment, where we have Aimel taking on Rewt. Two players who haven't gone against each other in this league yet because we are doing cross-divisional playoffs, i.e. Aimel is the number 1 seed from the, I believe, the Whimsicott division, and Rewt is the number 2 seed from the Maractus division. So they're going right up against each other in the semifinals game. The other game between Razorclaw and Shay will be up after this one, commentated by Dr. Slacking and a different special guest. But the special guest I have with me here today is none other than the one and only Vepsis. Say hello.
What is up, COG fans? Yeah, Vepsis here, and I'm really excited for this cause Aimel is somebody I have got to see playing already before he started to doing this Wi-Fi and YouTube side of things, because he's been around a Showdown community I've been a part of a long time. So I know the capabilities of this crazy man, and Rewt is somebody who I've got to play quite a few times in a Wi-Fi scenes in itself. So I'm really excited to see that how these two are gonna be playing out. I'm expecting, obviously, from Aimel's side, really creative building, and I'm very underestimating when I'm saying creative building. It's gonna be very wacky. It's what I'm expecting, but it's gonna be interesting to see which one of these two makes to the finals, and
yeah.
It's gonna be a crazy game. That's what I'm expecting.
I gotta say, one thing I respect a hell of a lot about Aimel is that he could have only picked like 2 D tiers. This man picked like 4 or 5. So we got like a Corsola. I'm really hoping we see a Corsola. So I don't know. Yeah. Are you ready to get right into it?
Yeah, let's just jump into it. Like, that's one of the big things as well with him. He's a very creative builder, and he can make low tier stuff look like broken compared to like high tier stuff. So
absolutely.
I'm hoping to see that being the case today. I'm not picking favorites who I want to win, but I want Aimel to pull some crazy stuff. And
there's no Corsola. No.
There is no Corsola. The low tier ones are the Crosso and Throw. Crosso now can be a hazard stacking lead, which can be scary with all the setup options of the ground. From Rewt's side, we see a Grassy Seed Rillaboom, which is probably a setup, a Roxil Valley, Leftovers, Klefki, Choice Cup, Bishop, Sugarberry, Galarian Slowkey, which definitely will pack Ice Beam, knowing that there's a Landorstarian and defensive Seismithor more or less with Leftovers, but
it's
an interesting matchup.
This team makes, I think both brings here make a lot of sense. You know, the Rillaboom seems like a really cool bring on the Rillaboom, because the Amoonguss, you know, should normally be like a really good stop to the Rillaboom, but if that Rillaboom is acrobatics with Sword Stance, then that's a really good stop to it. And then, you know, also things like that Choice Scarf Bisharp there to take on the Landorus, and again, like you said, the Ice Beam Slowking for the Landorus as well. But something interesting about this game is we just might see like double spike stacking on both sides between this Klefki and this Crustle potentially.
Yeah, this might be a case that both of them have a very clear like set and stone winning conditions, what they are playing towards to, and hazard stacking definitely can be a route that both of them are taking. The Silvari Rock, I was actually thinking what it could be there for, but I saw Galarian Moltres, and that might be one of the ways to try to prevent it sweeping it yourself as well.
Yeah,
looking at the root side.
And we're going to see the Crustle lead right off the bat, which does make me think that this is a spike setting variant. So we might just see an exchange of hazards here, to be honest.
Yeah, there could be a case of like we see like spikes going off, and this Seismithor is not actually covering a water move to hit this Crustle, so it may have to go for a Earth Power Toxic to get this Crustle sturdy broken and getting it worn down. And we do see the Earth Power coming up, which is gonna do a decent amount of damage because the Crustle is not meant to have a high HP stat in itself, and the spikes do go off, which are going to be pretty nice in the long term. And we see the Leftovers, so yeah, it's definitely dedicated as a stacking lead.
Leftovers is an interesting item on this Crustle. I would have expected to see something like Custat Berry Sturdy or something like that, but I think Leftovers are going to work out pretty nicely here, because it might potentially be able to get up 3 layers of spikes here. Aimel electing to swap out. I'm a little surprised by that.
I'm surprised as well, because the Leftovers, like you said, could have come in play. since the Seismitoad didn't have Scald or anything to hit the Crush so harder, but now the Amoonguss just hot swaps in as Rewt managed to get his Crocs on the other side of the field in itself. So the field is somewhat evenly fielded, and we see Klefki is actually a setup variant with Calm Mind and Light Screen. So we don't have spikes from Rewt's side. And curious to see what it's gonna able to do, because it doesn't even pack like stored power that I know Klefki has come into lately.
That Klefki seems like it's trying to do a million things at once.
It's kinda... There's few stoppage to it still.
Yeah. Bisharp is a weird play for me here because, Spore looked very free on Aimel's side because the one immunity is that Rillaboom, and Rillaboom it clearly doesn't want to be coming in right now. So either this is what Rewt deems to be the least valuable Mon and is willing to get it spored, or...
Oh my god.
I don't know. What?
Did you see the Galarian Slowking set?
I did not. Uh-oh.
Oh god, oh, you're in for a surprise. I'm not spoiling. You gotta wait for it.
No, tell me!
No, you gotta wait for it. I hope viewers got to see it. Oh my goodness, Rewt is back. He got it.
Oh
I'll let you guess it a little. I'll let you guess when the time comes before you get to see it. But anyways, the Bishop is on the sleep. Surprisingly enough, it also had Crocs on it. Maybe it should have like Sleep Talk on it, off the chance he wanted to have some sort of way to absorb Spore.
Right.
But it's gonna be a case that he has to burn a sleep, and now Throw can come in, which can start like sugar throwing things around when the spikes are up.
I honestly think this is a free knockoff from the Throw's perspective.
Now you got to see it.
Oh, what the fuck is that? That's crazy. Holy shit. I only saw two moves, and I saw the two middle moves.
God, I love it so much. I really
amazing.
hope that gets to shown.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it. Klefki comes in. I think we're going to see a knockoff here. If I have to... No, Circle Throw. You were right. Okay. And it avoids.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Granted, now the thing is that this Klefki cannot really do much damage other than like stab training kits, but Klefki is not naturally super strong. But it will go for the damage regardless, because again, like, there's no point of setting up in front of this thing. So he's able to get at least some damage, and hopefully whatever comes in on this throw can actually pressure it out. Because the Klefki won't be able to do that, and probably gonna see another Circuit Throw, and it's gonna be holding Rocky Helmet. So the training kit's like healing effect doesn't actually come in play. Like Klefki took like 40% in that turn.
No, this is a really good throw bring by Aimel. You know, leaving it in, he of course is making himself a little bit more susceptible to Bisharp if it does wake up, but the fact that this Bisharp hasn't even burnt any sleep turns yet makes me think that this play is okay.
Yeah. And now, like, I know, like, you have been using Throw in UBL. It's pretty cool more in a way that, like, if there's something that cannot immediately break it and you have hazards up, oh god, speaking of breaking hazards,
speaking of breaking this thing,
it might be my special potato Throw, which is like relatively common set on Throw, even on a ladder. But like Restock Sugar Throw with hazards is so annoying to break, and that's literally what's happening now on Rewt's end. And I know Rewt doesn't enjoy whenever he sees stressed. And I don't think he's been liking it right now either. Like, he is kind of forced to just stay and get an Earth Power, and hoping something like Rillaboom could come in and try to acrobatics and then avoid Sugar Throw to be coming into his way. It's rough.
Absolutely. You know, the one downside about Sleep Talk, of course, is that he's now relying on these Sleep Talk rolls. As you see here, he pulls the rest, and you know, if it's the case that this Seismitoad can crit or get a Spadef drop or something, then it will beat this, you know, rest throw 1v1, because Aimel is going to be kind of forced to keep resting after this turn. But, you know, big deal here is that he's going to have to sacrifice some health on this Seismitoad for the throw.
Yeah. Well, like, the thing is, like, if the throw... one thing, like, we aren't sure always, like, what certain defensive mods are there for. Like, Throw, I'm not too sure yet what it's there for Aimel, but off the chance the mon didn't show up, that Throw was really banking on it there to check. He can kind of just let it do the early work, and then he gets a decent value on it in the progress. And now Silvally Rock has been now revealed to Aimel, which is got good information for Aimel, because you always want to know what kind of Silvally typing it is. And it happens to be, on this case, that Throw is able to like resist it, and he has Rocky Helmet to also wear it down. But we do see Rewt does not want to stay in with that, and he just wants to body shot himself out and weaken its attack.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a pretty fortunate Mon that got Circle Thrown into, because I think Aimel's going to have a very free rest this turn.
Yeah, it does give him that option that he can now get this thing back to full health, but he just stops to just keep Circle Throwing around, cause even though it's gonna be -1 attack, the 12% for through spikes, he's still helping, and this Bishop has only burned one round of rest. And I'm not sure even Ironhead will kill this thing, and now Rewt just keeps swapping out. Like, the thing is, like, he has to take these spikes damage, and he's giving a potential turn for Aimel to choose to go for a rest again.
Yeah, this throw definitely looks like it's going to be able to go to bed. And here it goes. Something that I never really know about throw, or I guess most rest talkers, and I think you're the perfect person to ask about this, is Guts active when throw is asleep?
Yes, this actually happened. Like, this was something that me and Razor, when we were having our Yu-Gi-Oh battle, there was a scenario that Razor was wondering about this too, and my Konoko was boosted by Sleep Talk. While I was asleep. So it's actually a pretty strong guy to be using this kind of set, so maybe I should be considering drafting it more often. But we do see the Klefki was brought in, the throw did not want to stay and start risking a 33% chance of getting the right move. He just goes hard into Landersterian and makes sure that if this Klefki is a setup variant, which usually training is usually kind of gives you an intel that it could be Calm Mind, you don't want to get it out of hand, because Prankster setting up Klefki can be annoying Mon to deal with, and I have seen it a few times to do quite a bit of work.
Yeah, absolutely, and we are going to see the leftovers on the Slanderous, which likely means it's probably not a huge setup set, I would imagine, but who knows? It's possible.
The thing with Rillaboom being in this matchup as well, the Landersterian is more likely to be special, as we see.
Yeah.
So Calm Mind and Light Screen will mean that Klefki can at least restrain the Landersterian a little bit longer with the Crown Stab. Unfortunately, for Rewt's sake, he doesn't pack the Magnarize, but Klefki does have that 4-move syndrome very heavily, and he opted to go with the set he has, but he's able to take the Earth Powers decently.
Oh my god, yeah, and that's really smart foresight from Rewt there, knowing that this Lando is likely special because of the Rillaboom. He is confident to stay in with his Klefki and click Light Screen, like knowing that it's likely not Earthquake. Like that's scary. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because this means that Klefki can at least, if it's not gonna 1v1 Landers, it will very least leave it to the point that it's very weakened for something else to take care of. And if you can make that kind of trade-off versus a Landersterian, I don't care what kind of draft league you're in, Landersterian is always one of the better mons in most matchups. So if you're able to kind of neutralize it with a lower tier mon, it's always better to take that trade-off.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see the special defense trap there. Not sure if it will matter, because I think that it'll get in range of, well, Rewt might be contemplating to Calm Mind again, so maybe it will matter. But
it might matter actually, because the thing is, like, he cannot get the training case benefit from it. It's like you have Prankster, but it's not comp phase, so you still have to go last with your training case.
Right.
So this is kind of putting Rewt in a predicament, as we see now he's debating having to make a swap.
I don't know if I agree with him making a swap here, because if this is special, it could have Sludge Wave for the Rillaboom, and you know what? We just saw that this Klefki outspeeds this Landorus, so I felt like Draining Kiss was kind of free there. Like, even if you're not going to be able to sweep with this thing, you're at least going to get one more big Draining Kiss off, I imagine, right?
Did it outpace with the Training Kiss?
It outpaced with Draining Kiss, and okay, I think, okay. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm bad.
Yeah, because the thing is, either way, like, he does swap out, and like the risk definitely is there with the slot spawn or slot swipe being there. So I'm not sure if this is the proper way to go about it, even if he was forced out or not with the Klefki, because the Rillaboom to me looked like the easy winning condition that Rewt could try to pull off with the acrobatics being there. But it doesn't actually have a setup.
Yeah,
so it doesn't have even sword dance, huh?
Yeah. No, like having light screen up is nice, but you want a setup sweeper that is going to benefit off of that light screen. And clearly, this Rillaboom, while it might be doing some damage here, Sludge Wave is going to do a ton even with the light screen up, and I don't think this Real Boom's going to be able to do enough that's going to take out the Slanderous in time. And Aimel gets the poison.
And yeah, because I was about to say, like, I probably would most of the time prefer slot spawn for the poison chance, but you know what? Aimel is like, I'm taking the power and I will get this poison as well. Like, I'm taking the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And that's pretty unfortunate in poison, because that is definitely a 2-hit KO, as we have a nice HP that on that Rillaboom. At least for this turn, that 69 HP. I don't know if everybody noticed, but that's just me being very immature about it.
Amoonguss does come in here, so Aimel might be taking the Acrobatics bait. I mean, that being said, I mean, it probably chews it, to be honest, right?
Yeah, it'll take it. It's a quad-resisted hit and Amoonguss as well, which I imagine.
But the Acrobatics, rather, like, do you think this Amoonguss is going to chew this Acrobatics that's coming its way this turn?
I feel like I'm expecting Aimel to have a Cobo Berry on this. So really? I feel like it might pack it. I do expect Aimel to have that. Let's see. I might be wrong, but we didn't see like Black Slug, we didn't see Rocky Helmet. So like I would imagine this might be Cobo Berry, because like Aimel is an experienced player. I would imagine he's prepared for this. Let's see.
Well done. Wow. Okay.
Ah, there we go. I knew I can trust Aimel on this prep side. Like it made a lot of sense. You have to have a backup idea for that as well.
Yeah.
But he does go for the Giga Drain. Does that finish the job?
It might with the poison, but does poison go before grassy terrain?
Let's see. I'm not too sure.
I think this Real Boom lives.
Yeah. I don't know, Aimel. You had the right prep, but I don't know if that was the play, man.
Yeah. That being said, I mean, like, isn't Lando like kind of free here? Because like he's not gonna Grassy Glide.
Yeah, this is an interesting turn of events, because now Rewt decides to go for a Knocko, which is not gonna do a whole lot. So we see an extent of where like Aimel overpredicted with the Giga Drain, but Rewt follows it up turn after, expecting Aimel to swap out and goes for Knocko, and all of a sudden, neither of them... Well, Aimel in the end actually gets the position that he should have been in if he made the right play, but he didn't get punished by over-predicting.
Yeah, part of me wonders if this is just playoff nerves or both sides are just trying to kind of get into it. I mean, I think that Rewt is far more on the back foot as of right now than Aimel, at least in this moment. So I can understand him trying to go for that knockoff play to try and catch something, but I don't think Aimel was in a position where he needed to bother with that at all. Yeah,
I do agree. Out of the two, I feel like Aimel was he was in a driver's seat to just make the safe play. Rewt had to make something happen out of it. It's just unfortunately it played out in a way that Aimel made the over prediction first, and then just Rewt couldn't capitalize on it because he felt like he is still in a back foot, which again, like, it's a good kind of intel from your end. Like, he definitely seems to be in a back foot right now. We do see the Bishop coming in, try to burn those sleep tag turns and try to go for a knockoff, and I think at this point Rewt is just trying to get this thing awake again, noticing this is one of his remaining winning conditions he has, with the Choice Cup potentially able to prevent things later on. But this Amoonguss is getting healthier again. It's going to be rough for him to be able to kill this thing, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's my concern with this play that Rewt is making. What is, now that, you know, Bisharp has been asleep 2 turns, I feel like, you know, say 50% chance it wakes up here, 50% next turn. What's stopping Aimel from just clicking Spore these next 2 turns and just resetting the sleep turns?
Yeah, like, Rewt has to pick his quote-unquote Spore sack yet again, unless the Iron Head is going to be doing enough or potentially getting a flinch this next turn.
Yeah,
the Giga Drain would be able to finish this thing off as well. So Aimel might be in a position that he just takes his kill instead of trying to go for a Spore.
That makes sense. He might just do that. But I don't know. My mentality was like, I feel like you could have just clicked Spore a few times that turn and not really cared. I don't know.
Yeah, but Aimel does have the Rocky Helmet throw in the back, so Rocky Helmet might be able to just finish this thing off, and Throw doesn't have to worry about too much. So it's still like around, what is that, 65% potential or 60%?
Yeah, I mean,
it should be in a decent amount of range for Silvally.
It should be a good amount of range for Silvally, but we are at a point now where, you know, I think a few Earth Powers will take it out, and honestly, Rewt might just have to go for game with this thing in front of him right now, if that's even a Mon that might win. I don't even know, but
Rewt
is down for the count. He's got to go for something here.
Yeah, he has to make something happen. Like some sort of miracle has to happen here. I don't think the size method is the one to choose
I
for
don't
it.
think
But
that's
he
the one
has
that'll
to
do
pay
it.
it own. We have all the faith in the size method pulling this off. Granted, the Earth Power did do a decent amount of damage as we saw before. He had an option or small chance to be able to beat the throw 1v1 with even with the rest stock in itself. So
Oh yeah,
maybe
if Root gets fortunate rest talk turns this turn, then he should be able to beat this thing 1v1, because I'm pretty sure this is its first sleep talk. But I don't think it matters. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like payback. Does that kill? Ooh, 4.
Ooh, okay, that's an interesting choice, because now that gives it base 100 consistent attacking move, as long as he's been attacked.
It makes sense because like it hits the Slowking, but also wait a minute, but Slowking would underspeed, so why wouldn't you just want knockoff? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's the thing as well. I wasn't really sold on it. Should it be payback over knockoff? Like, knockoff most of the time is always a good move to have, and I know you're a big fan of knockoff in general, so. Yeah. I'm little surprised of the choice.
We are going to see Root go for the Icy Wind here. It's probably a smart play just in case Amoonguss or Landorus comes in, because Earth Power is going to finish this throw off anyway. But we'll see if Throw gets fortunate with the Sleep Talk turn. If it gets Rest, then nope, gets Circle Throw.
So Aimel does manage to get these, and these are again guts boosted while it's still asleep, so it was going to do a decent amount of damage anything that had to take, and now Seismitoad had to take all of it. And unfortunately does go down, and Root is again in a position that what is beating this thing?
I think he has to go for this, whatever the hell this Slowking is. I think it's his only saving grace here. You know, reality being, I just think Root just did not bring the tools to break some of the fat that Aimel had. But I don't even think Aimel was necessarily stalling or even playing too defensively.
No.
He was just kind of pivoting the right mon in and kind of shuffling with the spikes. It seems very defensive, but you know, it's a relatively fast-paced game from what we've had so far, given that there's an Amoonguss and a rest talk throw.
Yeah, like the thing is, like throw with the right rest stock, it's not like a wall beater. It cannot wall everything. Like there are limitations and reasons why it's a low tier. So it's not hard to. It's kind of hard to really approach from Aimel's side, and I'm still like really happy that I saw Aimel running the Cobra Berry on Amoonguss, which is like it's a proper prep for Illapom. So it just happens to be that right now his defensive moves are able to do the job, and Klefki did lose to Throw while Throw was able to now wake up naturally after using the 2 turns of rest. And now Root is down to 2 mons, one of these being the Roxil Valley, which doesn't really have a good move to hit with it. It's just
he's got to go for the freeze, yeah. I mean, if this thing gets a freeze and Slowking comes in and goes for the... Oh, well, that's not a... I don't think that's good.
That is not the Ice Beam. So I was also thinking maybe Potting Shot and try to let like this throw being low amount of attacks, and let the Sil Valley down to the point that the Galarian Slowking could not be phased out anymore. And then the Galarian Slowking tries to make some magic happen. Like, I feel like something like that, he would have had to happen, or like you said, have to go for the Ice Beam freeze. I'm not sure if the multi-attack would have been ever the choice to do.
Right.
Because now he has to still go back to the Sil Valley, but instead of getting the Potting Shot off, he only got the multi-attack off, which this throw can still gain its health all the way back up if Aimel chooses to do so.
Well, the difference here being, too, is that after this Silvally is knocked off, this Slowking can no longer be phased. So, is it possible? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but like even regardless, like I feel like he may have been better off trying to Potting Shot, but Aimel, I guess...
There's a whole Moltres. Yeah, this is over.
There's a whole Moltres, which is not actually heavy-duty boots, it's holding leftovers, but that's a small play for Aimel.
No boots. No boots allowed.
Yeah.
Alright, go home with your boots.
Yeah, alright. So Boots one is around. That's a rule in the tournament. I completely forgot about that. That's a big potato for my end.
That's okay.
But what I wanted to make a point of was that Aimel was really smart, making sure that there's no opening for Galarian Slowking, which is the last one remaining, to try to get something funny going on. And
there's a light screen
I like
up.
that play. There is a light screen up, but I do still like I would rather always try to bring something in to pressure this Galarian Slowking, which for him is the Galarian Moltres, instead of letting Throw sitting there potentially be a setup photo, which I don't think he would even see. So belly jump being the one that the Root is looking right now to be clicking, and he's going for it, but
Snarl!
let's see. Oh god, it's only having Snarl, which in most cases is a really good prep from Aimel's side, but he was not ready for this belly
The
jump.
belly drum is here.
The belly drum.
If there's... Oh
No.
my god, no. There's no universe.
If there's no universe, he's gonna be able to live this all that. Like, that's the one thing that this set is kind of lacking, is that it doesn't have a form of gain that health back outside of swapping out with the region or train
Aimel
punch.
goes for Hurricane here. No, foul play. Aw.
No, he had the foul play too. Oh, you're taking a billion. Your whole family, your children of children, are all dead to that foul play. That was, oh god.
That was a rough one for Rootsen, but you know what? Despite it being a 6-0, I feel like that was a pretty entertaining game.
Oh, it was absolutely entertaining, and like again, I'm happy at very least that both sides, especially I'll give like credit to Root that he was willing to try something a lot different with the Clarion Slowking, having the belly drum set with liquidation and train
Yeah, that's
punch.
hype. It's a great way to go out, to be honest.
Like that's a one way to go out for sure in a tournament like this. So I'm curious to see. I'm not sure actually. Have you seen Aimel uploading for this, or we only relying on this tournament in itself to see this? Because I'm not sure if we got to see too much heat from Aimel's end.
Yeah, no, we haven't. The coaches themselves have not been uploading. Some people have been doing supplementary content like team builders. But Aimel has been kind of just vibing. So,
Okay.
yeah. But generally speaking, of course, if you want to see more Aimel heat, obviously go check out his channel as well as all the other channels of the coaches in the description below. But I gotta say, I feel like Root kind of out-heated Aimel on this one, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, like as far as we could tell, Root definitely had the more heat on his end. But I'm gonna like obviously like you should go check out Root. Like one of the best attributes Root as a YouTuber is that he has one of the higher qualities, especially with his like web camera. I'm pretty sure he uses like a professional camera
His
for
web
his
camera is
webcam.
insane. I get to see that.
It's so embarrassing to compare ever your own web camera to his webcam quality.
My web camera is dog shit, and it's horrible.
Yours is dog shit. Mine is like literally potato. Like I might as well have a potato and a little camera. That's basically my webcam compared to his. But make sure to check out Root as well, and of course Aimel. Aimel, again, like I said early on the video, is somebody I have started to know a little longer already from Showdown side of the things. But he has been picking up in Wi-Fi scene. He was part of the APA now, which has been going on, which neither of us were into at the time, but I knew he was taking part of it. And he's picking up momentum for his channel, and you should definitely check his channel as well. He doesn't as far as I remember, he doesn't like have webcam or anything, so there's not like quality wise like big things, but the big thing like you should check him out for is his commentary and the sets that he brings. There's never a boring game from Aimel's side, and the sets that he brings. So I highly encourage you to check both of these courses, and obviously stay tuned for the other semi-final game that there are going to be Dr. Slacking and surprise guests going to be commenting on that. It's going to be really fun to see that, and I'm really excited to see who Aimel gets to play in finals, and I really hope we can have a very heat finals waiting there as well. Aimel, I'm sure he's going to keep his part of the park and make it very entertaining.
Yeah, no, congratulations to Aimel again. And just to echo everything that Vepsis said, of course, go check everyone in the description below. And stay tuned for the upcoming semifinal against Razor and Shay. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Go check out Vepsis and me, too, while you're at it, because we're both pretty great as well.
Yeah, we have our own little things. We don't, like... Of course, you have been like building your own community, starting from like first being more educational channel, but then you have joined the Wi-Fi League side of things. It's safe to say you have had your fair share of success lately, and well, some of you may have known me for a while. It's hard for me to say I'm a veteran in the draft league scene in Wi-Fi, but I guess I'm getting up there as well. So make sure to check us both out as well. We are not taking part of this, but you have seen us being part of the Champions of Gala tournament in the past, and we are taking apart a league together in a bigger side of things as well. So both of us are providing some draft league content ourselves. So if you're still hungry for Gen 8, you should be, but while it's still here, make sure to check out both of us out as well and stay tuned for the finals.
All right. Bye, everyone.